Oh my goodness. Aelita, you are so wonderful. I knew you were good, but I really didn't realize how good you were. So, ladies and gentlemen, Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to our Why I Love Yiddish Fest 2021 Purim edition. I am coming to you live from the beautiful Betsy Hotel on South Beach. I am now in one of the beautiful libraries surrounded by art. And I don't remember the artist's name, but I'll find it. Alessandro Samo. So, Elita, welcome. Welcome to the world of the Yiddishkeit Initiative and why I love Jewish.
I feel at home.
Good, good.
Thank you
I'm
so
very
much
glad.
for having this Yiddishkeit initiative. I mean, it's such a found for me. It's incredible find. It's amazing. I think I would been searching for you all my life.
Oh,
Oh,
well, thank you. I'm not sure your husband wants to hear that, but thank you. Well, maybe likewise, because one of the things we've been trying to do is find all the people we don't know. And there are so many, and every day I discover more and more. Today at 2 o'clock, we had a wonderful interview with a gentleman who went to India to teach the young children in India the story of Purim. So we are finding amazing discoveries, and you are one. Elita, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I think you're Russian. I want to believe that you are from Russia, but I don't know. Tell us, where are you from? How did you learn Yiddish? Why did you get involved in this world? I think we all want to know more about you.
well, I was born in Riga, Latvia.
Ah,
It is the most beautiful city, Gothic style, founded in 1204, and it's on the Baltic Sea. And the breakup of the Soviet Union actually started in my home country, Latvia. And I talk in my show that the only Jewish education that I had was given to me and to my wonderful sister Luba by our grandma, Mara Evenstein. She's the only one from my grandparents who survived. My father's mother and father, who were deaf and mute, perished in Holocaust in Latvia, along with other 40 members of my family.
mm,
So I learned Yiddish only through the songs that my grandmother sang to us.
wow.
And we tried to light the candles on Shabbat. We had to close the curtains. One time, I think I went to the shul on Simchas Torah, and the scholarship was taken away. So when I came to United States, I mean, the hunger that I had for Yiddishkeit, for everything, where Jewish that my ancestors gave up their life to uh, to preserve, it
Right.
means a lot. Actually, I also have to tell you that in this presentation that I showed you today is everything that I hold dear to my heart: family, tradition, my background, state of Israel, love, kindness, and always hope for the future. And I feel that my grandparents were deaf and mute, so God gave me voice
Mm,
and God gave me message. And along with performing all over the world, entertaining USO and troops in North Pole and in South Korea and Japan, and singing in Chinese and another 15 languages, but it's always the Yiddish that talks to me, that just trying to get out. And I really appreciate all the new artists that came up and did music, in a new version. But my mission is to preserve the version of the songs the way they were sang.
right. How old were you when you realized that you had an amazing talent to perform?
Well, I've been singing since I was 5, and I absolutely had no fear. If we had company, nobody could go home unless I would get on a chair and I will do the entire song from my repertoire.
It
And
sounds like Sounds like we're the same person. I used to do the same.
Avi, I've been taking this fun Yiddish classes. I'm already in grade 3, and we have so much in common, more than you can think. But with the help of my sister Lubachka, she was transcribing all the Yiddish songs that my grandma sang,
Right.
Mera. And I also played violin. So Mera, my Boba, was supposed to stay in the room for me and watch me play violin. And honestly, I really did not like it a bit because
Hmm.
all my friends were playing outside, and here I am. So what I did, I'm gonna tell you, but don't tell anybody. On the music stand, I had Conan Doyle stories. I was reading, blah, 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 blah. But any music education that you have, it helps you. And playing music gives you a perfect pitch, to tonality. And then I was singing. But I was one of the first who was singing Brazilian bossa novas in Latvia.
Right.
And when I was already 12, my mom took me by the hand and she took me to little jazz clubs in Riga, and she begged musicians to allow me to sing with them a couple of songs. And I remember I did Girl from Ipanema and all those songs. And of
Right.
course, in English, like English, I learned from my music, from my songs.
Right. So you started performing at a very young age. And it's obvious because you're so comfortable singing and entertaining in all these different videos. When did you leave Riga? When did you leave Latvia?
Well, we all know the story of Moses. Our family had our own Moses. It was my mom's sister, Sarah. In 1932, she went to Palestine to be one of the Hatzalim, one of the pioneers.
Wow.
And 40 years later, in 72, she took out of Latvia 22 members of our family
Wow.
to New York. And
Wow.
I will never forget till the day I die the excitement and the gratitude that I had when I landed in Kennedy Airport and we literally kissed the ground. Because, in all of my shows, I always reminding people that they can never take for granted what this beautiful country has to offer. It's a country where everyone can live out their dream, but you
Right.
have to work hard, you have to be focused, you have to be talented, and you have to be patient. So,
Right.
all those things. So I came in 1972, a long time ago. My goodness, it's going to be almost next year, 50 years. And it's little by little, I performed in all nightclubs in Manhattan with La Chansonnette. I performed at the St. Regis Hotel with my beautiful friend Julie Budd. That was
Oh, Julie. I love Julie.
74. Can you imagine? I still have our programs. She's just the kindest, most beautiful person and a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
And but when I came to United States, I did a concert in 50 cities in United States on behalf of Soviet Jewry
Hmm.
rights,
Right.
right of the Soviet Jewry. So what I'm trying to say, if you do good things, it come back volume, and it's
Okay.
little by little. I went through all the decades. I was a disco queen. I did the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, Las Vegas with showgirls, entertaining troops all over the world. But Israel has always been very special to me, and through all of my concerts I helped to raise over $7.5 million for the state of Israel, for every charity there is, and especially
Wow.
the IDF and hospitals, daycare centers. So
Well, I look forward.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say I look forward to the day after COVID when you and I can do a big fundraising concert together for the Yiddishkeit Initiative.
Well, I'm ready anytime.
Me too. So let's just get rid of COVID.
We have so much that we haven't even explored yet. But
Yes, I
even with
understand.
the pandemic, I still managed to do 5 concerts on Zoom just in the month of December, and
Right.
it's something new. But I actually performed for a group of Holocaust survivors and between the ages of 82 and 97. who live in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and they belong to a Jewish center. And the lady who's in charge, Yana Abramov, she taught each of them by computer how to turn on the Zoom. and
Wow.
and I have to tell you, I was supposed to do 1 hour show. I was with them 2.5 hours, and I am coming back on March the 5th. So because all the lonely people that are by themselves, and they need what we do, because music just lifts your spirits.
Right. Well, I was going to say, right now, watching us is a woman who's on our board of directors, Leah Volinets, who's very active in the world of Holocaust remembrance. And she introduced us to someone who works very closely with Holocaust survivors. And we've been talking about figuring out an organized way to provide entertainment to all of these Holocaust survivors that are still there and they're stuck in their houses. And so, who knows? You and I, we may do a lot of wonderful work for a lot of wonderful people. I actually came to America after you. I mean, I was born here, but I came back in 1977 from Israel. And I love Israel, of course, and worked there for many years. And I was in New York at around the same time. I'm so shocked that our paths never crossed before. I'm
I
sure we know a lot of the
was
same
in New
people.
York at the time of Shlomo Karlebach.
Yes, I used to go to the synagogue. I,
Yeah.
I actually stayed right next door. There was a hotel right next door to the Karlbach Shul. Elita, so tell me, so you've been here, you've performed all over the world, you've been here for such a wonderfully long time, and we share such a love of this particular culture and language and beautiful music. Um, where do you see yourself in the next several years? How do you see yourself continuing beyond the pandemic?
Well, I haven't stopped. I still sing. I have a lot of concerts still on Zoom. I am associated with various charities, like the Leading Ladies in Florida, who raise money for organ transplant. So there is a lot of, like, my book is busy,
Right,
and I will sing as long as people uh, want to hear. But I still have so much to share
right,
and so much to tell, because as human beings, as artists, we constantly evolve, and we put new meaning into everything. As you know, the experience gives you tools. I mean, to sing about love, like to sing like Piaf, you have to live the life.
right,
And what we know now, we couldn't know when we were 20 or 30. And
right.
now every cell of our bodies, our emotions, they talk to you. So there is a lot of things for growth. And I want to do my album number 9. It's already in the works.
Right.
So
I love the fact that you translated or had translated several very well-known songs into Yiddish, which makes me think maybe we should talk about translating Piaf and Jacques Brel. And there are so many wonderful songs that I think would be perfect in the Yiddish language. So we have a lot to
so
do
many
together.
duets we can do with you.
I would love that. Are you kidding? I can't wait. Good. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience before I let you go and thank everyone for coming?
Well, I just want to thank everybody who shows interest for Yiddish, and who also shares their family stories with children and grandchildren. I cannot stress enough how important it is to get them involved,
Right,
because this is our future. If we do not invest in our families, in those who are going to follow us in our footsteps, we're going to be doomed. And let everybody be well. Let the peace in Israel. Let all of us just spread love and kindness and music and lots of Yiddish.
oi,
And
bestia.
be stark und ess kräftig.
Oi, bestia zis in the shume. You're such a sweet soul. Thank you so much. Halevai umein of ins gesucht. We should only, live and be healthy. Abi gesinnt. Kemmen glicklich sein.
Thank you.
And
And
I'm
thank you so
so
much
happy
for
to
the
have you in my
talk.
classes.
Thank you so much. Very important what you do.
Well, and that's the work we're trying to accomplish, is to keep this culture alive and thriving and bring it to new generations for generations to come. So Ashenim Dank, and let's have coffee really soon, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, Ashenim Dank, Elita. We will see each other soon. Sei gesund. Thank you, thank you. Ashenim Dank. Bye. Beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard the magnificent songs and beautiful voice of Aelita, a true singing sensation from all over the world. I'm very honored to have met her. I'm very honored to know her. And I'm even more honored to be able to introduce her to those of you who didn't know her before. But now she's one of our family. She's part of the Why I Love Jewish Mishpuche, and we are going to be continuing our festival this evening at 8 p.m. We are so proud to present Dori Engel, a magnificent Israeli actor and performer, in a production of the Nefesh Theater from Israel. And it is Isaac Bashevis Singer's classic story of Gimple Tom. I saw this in Romania at the International Festival. And I was so impressed that I was just waiting for the opportunity to be able to present it to you, our audience. So thank you so much. Tomorrow, we are starting at 11 a.m. with Es Gesundheit, which is Eat in Good Health in Yiddish with subtitles. You can learn how to make Humentaschen and other wonderful Purim foods. Also at 2 p.m. tomorrow, we have the incredible Efim Chorny and Susanna Gergus live from Moldova in Europe, doing a wonderful Purim Spiel concert just for you. And then at 8 p.m. tomorrow night, we have our rebroadcast of Aaron Kula and the Klezmer Company Jazz Orchestra with 4 performers, 10 musicians, beautiful live concert that we pre-recorded called Borscht, From Borscht to Broadway, The Legacy of Second Avenue. So join us again. And then on Sunday, we will be closing our festival, our Purim Fest, with a 12 p.m. presentation of Chaplap, Chaplap, children's stories that my mother, Professor Miriam Hoffman, translated into Yiddish from Dr. Seuss, Rudyard Kipling. We performed it at the Ashkenaz Festival in Toronto several years ago, and I'll be doing it live from the Boca JCC, the Levis JCC in Boca Raton, 12 o'clock on Sunday. And finally, we close our festival at 2 p.m. on Sunday with a rebroadcast of the Congress for Jewish Culture production of the Megillah Cycle, the Megillah Lieder, directed and narrated and performed by Mike Burston, with an all-star cast from all over the world. We have Daniel Kahn from Berlin, Alan Rickman and Yelena Schmunson and Eleanor Risa and Suzanne Torren from New York. We have the Yid Life Crisis Boys from Montreal. We have so many incredible and wonderful performers, and someone who plays evil Huminarushe, der Latik. And you will have to come in and watch in order to figure it out, although some of you may already know. Ladies and gentlemen, again, my thanks for being part of our Yiddish Fest, for being part of Why I Love Jewish and the Yiddishkeit Initiative. All of our programming is free, which means we need your help. So please, if you enjoy our programs, go to our website, whyilovejewish.org. Go to the Donate Now button and support us in any amount, whether it's $1 or 10 or 18 or 180 or 18,000 It's all needed. It's welcome. We will be very grateful. Become a member. Any amount above $54 automatically makes you an annual member. Either way, any amount you donate is very, very appreciated. And so, Ashenim und herzlichen Dank. And I leave you till later tonight with my thanks, my gratitude, and Ashenim Dank.